We will be learning about operations with functions. We're going to look at how to add functions, subtract functions, multiply functions, and also divide functions, and we'll look at some examples. So let's look at the main idea about adding functions. If f of x equal to p and g of x equal to q, then f of x plus g of x equal to p plus q, or f plus g of x is also equal to p plus q. So let's try some examples here. Here we're given that f of x is 3x plus 2, g of x is x squared minus 1, and h of x is 6x. So what are these values? So let's look at f plus g of x. F plus g of x is going to be the same as f of x plus g of x, which is going to be 3x plus 2 plus x squared minus 1, which is 3x plus 2 plus x squared minus 1. Let's group common terms together. We have x squared plus 3x plus 2 minus 1, which is going to be x squared plus 3x plus 1. So this means that f plus g of x is equal to x squared plus 3x plus 1. So now the next thing we're going to look at is f of 3 plus h of 2. So f of 3 is going to be 3, and then we replace 3x plus 2, and then plus h of 2, 6 times 2. So 3 times 3, that's 9 plus 2 plus 12. Let's put that equal to here. So 9 plus 2 is 11 plus 12. So 11 plus 12, this is going to give us 23. And then finally, f plus g plus h of x, that is going to give us f of x plus g of x plus h of x, which is 3x plus 2 plus x squared minus 1 plus 6x. So we have 3x plus 2 plus x squared minus 1 plus 6x. So now let's group common terms together. So we have x squared plus 3x plus 6x plus 2 minus 1, and that is going to give us x squared plus 9x plus 1. The next one, we're going to look at subtracting fractions. If f of x is p and g of x is q, then f of x minus g of x is p minus q, or f minus g of x is p minus q. So let's apply this as in some examples. So f of x minus g of x is going to be, so we have f of x is 3x minus 2. So let's look at this. F minus g of x is going to be equal to f of x minus g of x. F of x is 3x plus 2 minus, for sure you want to have your parentheses, x squared minus 1. So this is going to give us 3x plus 2 minus x squared plus 1. We're going to group common terms together. So we have minus x squared plus 3x plus 2 plus 1. This is going to give us minus x squared plus 3x plus 3. Next one, we have f of 6 minus h of 9. So f of 6 is going to give us 3 times 6 plus 2, then minus 6 times 9. So 3 times 6 is 18 plus 2 minus 6 times 9 is 54. So 20 minus 54. Let's not forget our equal to signs here. This is going to give us minus 34. Now we have f minus h of 3. So this is going to be, we're going to find what f minus h is. So we have f of 3 minus h of 3. So f of 3 is 3 times 3 plus 2 minus h of 3 is 6 times 3. So this is going to give us 9 plus 2 minus 18. So 9 plus 2 is 11 minus 18. This is going to give us negative 7. F of x equal to p and g of x equal to q, then f of x times g of x is p times q, or fg of x is p times q. Let's look at some examples. So we have f of x, g of x, and h of x. So let's look for the values of fg of x. Fg of x equal to f of x multiplied by g of x. So in this case we have 3x plus 2 multiplied by x squared minus 1. So we're going to FOIL this. So we have 3x cubed, then we're going to multiply here, minus 3x, then we multiply this right here, plus 2x squared, and then we multiply this right here, and we have minus 2. So let's rearrange it. I like to have the exponents reduce on the terms from the left all the way to the right. So I'm going to write it as 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. So we have f of 3 multiplied by h of negative 2. So what this is going to be, f of 3 is going to be 3 times 3 plus 2. Then we multiply that by 5 over 6 times 2. So 3 plus 3, 9 plus 2, that's going to be 11 multiplied by 5 over 12. So that's going to give us 55 over 12. If you want to be adventurous, let's put an or right here. You can convert to a mixed fraction or a mixed number. So that's going to be 4, 7 over 12. Now we want to find f h of 3. This is going to be f of 3 multiplied by h of 3. The other way you can go about it is you can find the value of f of h of x and then just substitute 3, but this is a lot easier to work with. F of 3 is going to be 3 multiplied by 3 plus 2, and then h of 3 is 5 over 6 times 3. So here we have 11 multiplied by 5 over 18. This is going to give us 55 over 18. If you want to be adventurous, convert it to a mixed number or a mixed fraction. And we have 3, 1 over 18. Now with division, the same thing goes. We have f of x is g of x, the same concept rather. F of x is p, g of x is q. F of x divided by g of x is p over q. Or f over g of x is also p over q. Let's look at some examples. We have f of x here, g of x, and then we have h of x. So let's look at f over g of x. This is going to give us f of x divided by g of x. And now we have 2x plus 2 over x squared minus 1. Now we can simplify numerator and denominator. So this is going to give us, rather we can factor them, 2x plus 1 divided by x plus 1, x minus 1, and then we can cross out the x plus 1s. It's going to be 2 over x minus 1. Now we have f of 3 divided by h of negative 2. So f of 3 is 2 multiplied by 3 plus 2, and h of negative 2 is 5 divided by 6 times negative 2. So 2 times 3, that's 6 plus 2. We have 8 over 5 over negative 12. So we're going to write it out so that it's easy to see what we're going to do now. So this is going to be 8 divided by 5 over negative 12. So this is going to give us 8. We'll change the multiplication, and then what's going to happen here is that these will change positions. So that's going to give us negative 12 over 5, which is negative 96 over 5. Or, if you want to be adventurous, or negative 19, 1 over 5. So now we're going to have f over h of 3. This is the same as f of 3 divided by h of 3. So we have f of 3 is going to be 2 multiplied by 3 plus 2, and then h of 3 is 5 over 6 times 3. So we have 8 over 5 over 18. So what we're going to have here is 8 divided by 5 over 18, which is going to be 8 multiplied by, and then we're going to move the 18 up and move the 5 down. So we're going to be left with times 18 over 5, which is going to be 144 over 5, or for adventurous students, you'll get 28 4 over 5.